Good morning everybody, and it's yet another lovely day. Hopefully it will stay that way, but who knows until we get going really. I just thought I'd give you a little bit of an update on the polytunnel, how it's going. It's very slow because we seem to get a fluctuation in the weather conditions. 1 minute it's really beautifully hot and it's lovely, and the next minute we get cloud. We had rain yesterday, so although that's good for the plants outside, we haven't got any yet, but the grass, etc., all the other plants like that, we really need the nice sun and hot weather. Well, I do in my mind anyway. So this is what's happening here at the moment. We have some spinach coming up, only just. We've got a greyhound cabbage. Now, I'm not sure if I did this in the last video or not, but I've actually split some of them up now, and I've just put 4 in a pot, several pots, to get our cabbage, a little bit more room than what they had before. We still have our Pache hot chili. Now, I was actually sent these by another lady from one of the other sites, and it's on a Facebook site. I can't remember which one it was because it was last year and I'm crap with names. We have the red ball cabbage coming up. This is I don't know if you can see that, a cayenne pepper chili coming up there. Our early jalapenos aren't doing anything at the moment, but they probably will do. Neither is our tigerella tomatoes, but they probably will as well. Here's some more cayenne peppers coming up. You can just see them starting to sprout there. I've started my loofah gourds again. It might be a bit late in the season, but I'm going to try. But this one has actually set down a root, so I'm hoping that it might do something. I've put in some, even though I've got a fig tree, or a little small one, I've put in some seeds for figs, but they're not doing anything at the moment. We've got nothing in that tomato, nothing in the peppers there, sorry. Nothing in, oh yes we have, we've got one tomato in this one, which is the spoon tomato. And I got that from Jazz on Alternative Small Holding. She had some spare, so I managed to get hold of some from her. I bought them. These are the latter very early red tomatoes coming up. See, I planted them on the 20th of February, and they're now coming up. Italian tomatoes are coming up. There's another, is a pyramid cluster pepper, that one. That's not coming up yet. That's a cayenne pepper. I'm not sure if I've lost my rosemary. They're looking a bit sad, so I've repotted them. Plum tomatoes are coming up. Not those peppers yet. And these are the butternut squashes. Now, they don't appear to be coming up yet neither. Asparagus isn't showing itself yet neither, and that's from seed. We have some beef master tomatoes. They were planted in February as well, on the 24th, and they're coming up nicely. What's this one? Oh, an Elsa Craig tomato. That was also done in February, and that one's coming up nicely now. Then we've got some more peppers, Frigatalo. I've actually got some grape seeds that I bought online, and they've not started showing yet, but I thought that might be a nice little additive to the polytunnel at some point. These are the tomato, see if I can get it into focus, tomato heartbreaker. So they've just started coming up. If I can get you in the right place. There you go. They've just started coming up. Nothing in the comfrey. I had some comfrey seeds I've popped in as well, but they're not doing anything. But they've not been in very long. I don't think there's anything doing in this chili pot yet. Hopefully it will. Here's some more cabbage. I've got in some greyhound cabbage there. Some of them might have split up as well. lots and lots of tomato golden shine coming up, so there'll be a big job in splitting them up. Nothing in the orange wonder pepper in that one, sorry. And then we have an Elsa Craig tomato coming up, and there is something actually happening in this one. Now this one is a large red bell pepper, and I don't know if you can see that. We have a baby coming up there, so that's good. Hot cayenne peppers again coming up. And here we have a Cape gooseberry. I thought they were actually out of date, but I picked them up at the seed swap. And they've actually, I think, just started coming through. Hopefully you can see that, because they're so tiny. But they've just started coming through. If you could see, they've got one there, look, they're ever so tiny, and possibly one over there. So they were put in back in February as well, and they've just looked like they're starting to come through. So that's really good, because I've never grown them before. Now we have some more frigatello peppers, lots of them ones coming on. I've split them up. I've got one over here as well. In here I have my sweet potato. I don't know if anything's going to happen with that, but maybe it will at sometime. Now we have our red cherry tomatoes. I've split these up as well so that you can see them. And I have a mass of carrots still waiting to go in. However, we have my beds now, but when I rang to arrange for the soil to come, due to the coronavirus, they've decided that they can't deliver anymore at the moment. So sadly, I've got all these nice beds already made. Poor Tim strived to make these as quick as he could. And, as you can see, I've got nothing to fill them with at the moment. B&Q was out of their soil that I used for this bed. But, so is a waiting game, I think. So as you can see, my lettuces, since I transplanted them, let's move this out of the way a minute. I put them down so that I don't bang into them, because I've got this here end and you crash your head on it if you're not careful. So like I said, I've got some lettuces. Most of them are now beginning to come back or recover after being moved. These are leeks that are also waiting to go outside when I get chance and soil. All my carrots down here, they're doing okay at the moment. My kale is coming up, and so are all the beetroots. We have a little nest of lettuce here that will need splitting at some point soon. My tomatoes aren't coming up actually in the bed at the moment, but I do have some spring onions that randomly got put there, and I upset my cabbage things, which are going to need splitting soon, but they are actually coming up where they should be. We have a greyhound cabbage there that I put in, and there, and also there, they got put in there. These are spring onions, sorry. Now here I popped in a courgette in March the 3rd, and as you can see, it's just started coming up. Now I've got one somewhere else over here that have just started coming up as well, so that's good. These are zinnias, so they're actually flowers. So I popped them in a pot to see if they come up, and they are, so that's good. I've got some more peppers and what have you over here, but they're not really doing much at the moment. Even though they might do, but not at the moment. These were out of date as well when I picked them up, but do you know what? Just down at the bottom there, one of them is actually coming through. Now these are a golden berry pineapple flavour apparently. So I've never tried these before neither, so we shall see. I can only see the one at the moment, but that'll do me to try. So I'm quite chuffed at that. So they're coming out, and they were way out of date actually. So I'm really, you know, really happy about them. We have some more plum tomatoes coming up here randomly because I popped a pot in. They didn't seem to be doing anything. Excuse the chicken, but they have done. So yes, lots of bits and pieces coming on. Due to the soil, or lack of, we have been held back. Now this was the loofah gourd that I grew earlier, and obviously the frost got to it and it died. So I have got the new one coming up, at least one anyway. I've still not replanted my blueberries, but they do seem to be okay at the moment. Strawberries everywhere. There's the odd onion in here. I think I just found them and randomly stuck them in there. These are the walking onions. And of course we have the elephant garlic there. Normal garlic around. We have some sage and oregano, or oregano, wherever you are in the world. And we have the odd, up here, they're not doing anything yet, but the odd raspberry plant, which I've just popped in rather than popping them outside. Oh, and here, this I took out of the hedge. I took a cut in last year, so it's a gooseberry, and I think it's coming up really well. See if I can get a better angle on that one. So it's looking nice. And I repotted it, so it shouldn't be coming through. But you know what I am finding at the moment are these little blighters. Slugs, baby ones everywhere. So I keep throwing them out the door. Now, as I've said before, all these herbs are actually overwintered. And in actual fact, I've got a little bud there coming from my chives. So that's going to flower at some point, which is okay. Thyme, more oregano, more thyme. I think that's catnip. We've got some mint here. It smells lovely. I love the smell of mint. I've actually got another spoon tomato I've just noticed coming up here. And another one here. So they've just started coming up. So the, you know, the conditions must be right for them. Romanescos need to be split out now. So I need to fill up some pots of, I've got some normal bag soil. So I'm going to use those for the bigger pots. And I've still got a load of the cabbages to do as well. It's just really difficult to know where to put them when I've got no soil in the actual beds. The thing I am doing here is drying some mohair. So this fleece came off of the Angoras when we got them clipped, and it needs a good clean because it's got lots of bits of matter in it. However, I've washed it once to try and get as much as possible out, and I've picked bits out of it and everything, and then I've put it here to dry naturally, and it's looking nice and white at the moment. Most of it's looking nice and white. So this will be gone through again. It's got to be combed, it's got to be spun, and I'm looking at the moment, and I'm sure somebody can tell me if I'm thinking wrong in this one, at spinning this, and then when I do I can't think of the name of it, but the respin at the end, I'm thinking of doing the final spin with the wool from the sheep up the back of us that I've got. So that's a natural pure wool from the actual sheep up the back, mixed with this, and I'm hoping I'm going to have a fairly nice warm sweater type fibre, but I don't know until I try. But that's what the fun is. We've got to try these things, otherwise we'll never know. So this has actually been drying really nicely in the polytunnel. In fact, it is dry now. and then when I've hanged them up they'll be re-washed again before I can actually use it. So we shall see what happens. I am however still covering my plants up at night. So all these youngsters, they all get covered up with the fleece at night because it does still get very cold, so just be aware of that. You may need to cover it with the fleece. So I bring it back once it reaches about 5 degrees in here. I come in, I bring it off, and then before tonight, before it gets dark, I'll just cover them up quickly again. And it only takes a few minutes, but it does save them from getting the frostbite. Frostbite? Well, you know, the frosts don't kill them then. And I think that's all for now. So everybody, please take care. Please stay safe. Don't pick up the coronavirus, whatever you do. I'm sick of hearing about it, and I'm sure you are too. But please, please stay safe. Thank you, everybody. Lots of love to you. Take care and goodbye.